Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Isabella Notanda, and on the channel we are all about growth, motivation and encouragement, and sometimes we do dig into hair, beauty, fashion and lifestyle. And today's video, as you've seen by the title, I've got a story time. I don't know how I got myself into that situation, but all I want to say, disclaimer, this thing happened in the space of 24 hours, like less than 24 hours, okay? That's all I have to say for myself, period. So without further ado, let me get right into the video, okay? If you're new here, welcome. I hope that you liked this video and that you do end up subscribing. And if you're regular, welcome back, baby. Look out for more story times, okay? I've decided to unleash the bag. I've decided to unleash that bag because So I'm going to be eating my chocolates. I got this on my birthday. One of my very good friends got it for me, and I've never gotten chocolate that says happy birthday. It was very intriguing for me. I don't want to eat it, that's the truth. But hey, let me not eat it. I'll just look at it and, eat it when I'm ready. But yeah, so what happened is, I'm sure by the title you've already seen that this is like a juicy story time. So what happened is, I was working in Harare. I won't tell you when, because if I tell you the years and the months and the dates and the times, and my life will be a mess. But I was working in Harare, and of all the times that I've lived in Harare, I've always lived in the same place. Like every single time, I've always lived in the same place. Every year that I've been in Harare, I've been living in that place. So the story is going to be very easy to tell, and you guys won't be able to tell when it was, so that's good. There are no names, there are no characters, it's just me and this man, okay? So what happened is, I was working in Harare. I was working in town. Yeah, I was working in town. So I would always commute from the house and drop off somewhere, then walk to my office, and then from that office back to my house. Like the road to that location in Harare is very simple, Let me just say let me not say. Nah. This is YouTube, okay? This is YouTube. So it was always back and forth, like one commute, not two, not any more than that, always one. So I was working, and I was waking up every day, going to work by 7 o'clock. I'm supposed to be on my way because 8 o'clock I should be in the office, type of thing. So one day I'm late, okay, which happens a lot. Like, I'm not a very punctual person. I try to be punctual. I'm very keen on like being punctual. But there's something about me and going to work 8 to 5, it doesn't sit well with me. So I always make sure that I get to work at 8 o'clock on the dot, And other times I fail, I get there at 10 past. So it's not like late, like 9 a.m. But maybe it was around, I don't know, I leave the house at 6:30. That's like late. Because if you're commuting from in Harare, you don't want to have 30 minutes for the commute. There's going to be traffic. There's going to be drama in the streets. You want to be early. So on this particular day, I'm late. So I get out of the house and I'm like walking really, really fast, trying to get to, it was 6:30. And already in Harare, if you live in Harare, by 6:30, people are already gone. Was it 6:30 or 7? No, it's 7:30. Sorry guys, I'm confusing with my new workplace why I started 7. It was 7:30. By 7:30 people are gone. Traffic is already in the other parts of town. So in this other parts of the neighborhoods, there's no more commutes. It's not easy for you to get a combi anymore. Saka ndikufambiswa ndiende kukombi. And both times when I was living in Harare, I was commuting at the same place. So ndikufamba in that road, I know this road. I've been staying here for a while, so I know where to get the combis. And then This man just pulls over, you know. And then I don't look at him. I cross the road. Like I'm walking on the side of the road, on the left side of the road, where the cars are also moving. This man sees me and then he, pulls over. And then I cross and go to the right side. And then he continues driving and he's like, Sister Manonoka, I can see Kuti Manonoka, just let me help you. So my first instinct is run. The second one is like, girl, you're late, okay? And this person wants to help you, just go. So I go into the combi and I'm like into the car. It was a Toyota Corolla, I think. Yeah, Toyota Corolla, silver Toyota Corolla. So I get in. There's not a fancy car. I mean, what could you possibly want from me? If it was a Jeep, maybe, or a Mercedes, maybe. It was a Toyota Corolla, guys. So I get into this car, and then I'm like, he's like, where are you going? I'm like, I'm going to work. I tell him the exact location of where I work, and that I'm so late. I know there's traffic, because he was really like keen on knowing what's happening in my life at that moment. So he's like, oh, okay, no, it's fine. You know what? I was already also going in the same direction, but I'll definitely not mind to take a bit of a, to divert myself for a little bit just so I can assist you. You seem like you're really stretched for time. And I'm like, I'm pressed, bro. I'm pressed. Thank you very much. So he starts asking me questions. I answer truthfully because I mean, this guy is helping me. This was a grown man, mind you. As soon as I got into the car, the first thing I checked was his face. Does he look old? He was a good looking man, but he was old. And then the next thing was, does he have a ring on his finger? Because I mean, I'm a girl. That's the first thing we look at. So the first face was old. I'm like, pfft. I look at the ring. Perfect. He's married. He's not gonna do anything to me. It's 7:30 in the morning on a weekday. Where could he possibly take me? I get into the car. We're driving. We're talking. I'm truthful. Then he drops me off, Kubas. He drops me off at my gate and I'm like, so thank you. I remember I got to work at exactly 8 o'clock. Like the moment I got there, the work transport was also getting there and people were just getting out of the car to get into the building. So I was like, yo, thank you so much. I did not exchange numbers with this man. Let the record show. I did not. I actually told the important people in my life about the story because I was so traumatized. So I leave the car. I'm like, thank you so much, but by this time he knows my name, he knows what I do, he knows what I studied, he knows what time I knock off. I mean, this is Harare, everybody knocks off at the same time. He knows a pretty decent amount of information about me, so I get out. Let me check something. So I get out of the car. I was checking if I'm still filming. So I get out of the car, I go to work. Fast forward, lunchtime. I don't go out for lunch anyway, really. Anywhere I've worked, I don't go out for lunch. Like, I'm going to buy lunch. I always make my lunch or I make do with what's there, So, or order in, like, what do you call it? Dial a D. That's what I used to do. But then that day I was in the office, I was going to eat my lunch that I made from home. And then the security guys call me and they're like, hi, there's someone downstairs. There's someone on the building premises who wants to see you. This place that I was working at, I think both places that I've worked at, if you're not an employee or a client, you don't get in. So there's someone out here for you, and I'm like, okay. So
I go out and then I see Toyota Corolla. My heart stops. I was like, not stop in the way of like happiness, no, but like yes.
So I walk very fast because I'm a very assertive and stern person. Like if you meet me the first time, you'll think Ash is happy and easygoing, but cross me one time, then you will know. No, not her. Like I'm actually working on it. I can get really angry really fast. So I start walking very fast. I'm like, excuse me. And he's like, hi, I brought you lunch. Did he say hi, I brought you lunch? Or I don't remember what he said. I don't remember what he said, but I remember that I ended up having lunch that day. I remember I ended up having KFC on that day. Ha! I don't remember what he said to me. Uh-uh. Okay, I remember. When he came to see me for lunch, like during lunchtime, I was actually working on something that needed me to get out of the office. So when this dude shows up, I'm mad, I go in there and I'm like, what do you want from me, Chi? Like, why are you here? And he's like, I just came to say hello. I was during lunchtime and I was in the area, so I thought, let me come say hello. So my first instinct is again, run. And then my second instinct is, psh, I can actually use this nigga. Let me let him what? Drive me to where I want to go. So I call my friend and I'm like, bro, I'm actually going to be able to do that thing that we said I should do per lunch in town. So uh, we're good, we're covered. So I go back inside. This friend of mine gives me the details and the information. So I get into the car with the man. I know. At this point, I'm acting like a child, which I was, but I was an adult, so I was a working adult, so I should have known better. But I get into the car, and then, free transport, like whoever says no to free transport, if you live in another, So I get into the car, we go to town, I do what I want to do. Like, he was like with me the whole time. In my mind, I'm like, I already know, like, in the back of my mind, like, oh my god, what have I done? This man is going to start wanting my number. He's going to start asking for what ish. At this point, we only know each other's, names and everything. So I get into the work, the thing that I want to do, I finish. And then when we're driving back, he's like, I want to buy you lunch. And I'm like, I already have food at the office, you don't have to. And he's like, please let me buy you lunch. And I was like, okay, why not? So dude stops at KFC, he buys me food, and then he drops me off at work. Fine, nice, I'm eating. Me and my friend, I actually got 2 sets of food for me and my friend. I mean, hello. But at this point I know that snacks, I think I just made a mistake. So, but another thing, he didn't take my number. So I'm like, we're good, okay? So he doesn't take my number, he drops me off at work. I'm back at work, it's after lunch, I'm working, everyone is screaming in the office, oh my god, you're getting food. You know how it is in the office when people just see you going in and out with people in cars and everything. We're happy, we're laughing, and I'm just like, guys, I'm very happy where I am. I don't need, this. Plus, he's married, and they're like, those are the ones you should watch out for. So at this point, I'm scared. I'm like, you know what? I should actually do something about this. So 4:30, because he had showed up. He had showed up at my office, like unannounced at lunchtime. I knew that this person, this is his modus, so I should run. So 4:30, I'm like, guys, I'm going home. Don't leave work very early. 4:30 on the dot, I'm walking to the taxi place where I can get my combis back home. So the moment, guys, life, guys, like a scary human being. The moment I leave work, ndichingobuda kubuda pagete kudai, trying to walk across the road, I see the car turning into the street. I was like, who sent you? Okay, who sent you, bro? So at this point, I'm mad. Like, I'm flipping. I'm like, no, I don't know you. I don't even know your last name, okay? And you're wearing a ring on your finger. Go home, okay? Stop stalking me. I'm angry. I'm like shouting and everything. And he's like, please don't shout at me. I just missed you. And I was like, yo, my God, you missed me. You don't even know me. So I'm trying not to make low-cost drama in the street. So I'm like, you know what? I get into the car and I'm like, but before you leave me, don't talk about this thing. What do you want from me? Like, I'm trying to make my point. Does dude not drive the opposite direction? He's like, I'm taking you for a coffee date. And I'm like, yes. Like at that point, that's when I knew, ah, I have made a mistake. So he's like, I'm taking you for a coffee date, and that's when the bells start ringing in my mind. I'm like, hey, yeah. But at this point, it's not bad. I mean, it's daylight. You can always drop me by a restaurant party, and then I walk away and I look for a combi. I've got my phone. I've got power. Everything is working on my phone. So at that point, I go on my phone and I text my friend. I'm like, bro, I have messed up. I send a live location. If I die, I die. Okay. So this guy drives me. We went to Cafe Valdemars. Go to Cafe Valdemars, like way out of town. Okay, way out of town. Cafe Valdemars, and then he orders a coffee and cake. Did we go to Cafe? Yeah, we went to Cafe Valdemars. We find it's about to close, and they're like, we can't let you sit in. You can only take takeaway, blah blah blah. And I'm like, let's take takeaway. So we go to the takeaway spot. We find that there's no more cake. And I'm like, okay, fine, Chinjende Saikumba. At this point, I don't know Harare that well, so I'm like, ugh, if I drop now, it's already getting dark. It's around 5:30 now. If I leave this person now, how am I going to get Kumakombi? Like, kuno kuma del. Okay, I lived also kuma bit of a del, but if you know Harare, you know what I mean. Like, you can't just drop off somewhere and say you're gonna go home. Makombe, I know I'm going in different places. You have to ask people. You have to. So at this point, I'm just stressed and scared. Oh, yo, just thinking about it. I get into the car, and then he's like, and then I'm like, Atashaya, she's like, let's do it tomorrow. I'm trying to like buy time. Let's do it tomorrow. You can just drop me off Kumakombi. Ndiende zvangu Chikumba. And he's like, no, we're going to Semlevi. So, kuba imota indoda. Now I'm just like, iskak, yo, chef. Isidima somdeni sizoba njani when this whole story is being told ukuthi akafa cannot akaonekwa. I've got many relatives in Harare, especially in that part of town. Akaonekwa nemurumai vane ring, like. So we get to Sam Levy, and then we buy we went to Cafe Nush. Yeah, we went to Cafe Nush, and then he buys cake and coffees, 2 coffees, and then he wants us to sit in, and I'm like, bro, it's getting a bit late. Ndokumbirawo kuti mundidrive munenza. And please note, baba vanogara kumba ku location kwandinogara. Until you remember what patatanga kuonana ndanchiba kumba. This is the same day. Ndanchiba kumba kwangu. So ndangoti nchibuda pa dope kumba kwangu. Njingopinda mu road. Iwe vachibuda around that area. So he stays in that location. So even if I say leave me Kumakombi, he's going the same direction. So every time I say it, he says, Haziti, chi, tukuenda kumbatese, I'll just drop you off on my way. And I'm like, yo. So we drive. We sit in Cafe Niche. We sit in Cafe Niche, have the coffee, have the cake. It was quite nice, but I wasn't tasting it. My taste buds were blank, flat at this point. I'm scared. My friend is buzzing me up like, hey, Uripi, what do I do? How can I help? And I'm like, bro, there's nothing you can do. Just make sure that you know where I am. Right now, I'm in Cafe Niche. She doesn't have a car, so she can't come pick me up. My other friend wasn't in town. It was a mess. Like, on my phone, drama is going on. But no one's looking for me. I mean, I live alone, So I sit there, we finish, and then by this time it's 7:30. So we get into the car, and then he's like, we can go home now. So we drive. And also because it's late, I don't see where this man is going, but I know my way home, hey? So at this point, I'm just trying to like negotiate with him, like I'm like annoying him. And this guy, does he not drive us to Bront Hotel? The Bront. Guys. Musakwira mota zevanu, please. Musakwira mota zevanu, msingazi. He drives us to the Bront. He's like, I've got a room here. A company room. So how do you say? On this day ndakazvidemba, I get into I'm sitting in the car, and then he says that, and I'm like, yes, baba. And then he gets to the gate, he drives. The guard seems to know him very well. I was like, hey, mai vangu vakanzwa kuti ini ndakafira kuBront Hotel on a Tuesday manheru, on a work day. Ndaiendepi. So I text my friend, I send her alarm bells. I'm like, friend, I'm about to die. She's like, don't move. Usasimuka pamota ipapo, usatombochora vakabuda vakati rumba vakati varege vaende vega iwe Sara wakagara mumota. So I was like, okay, ndakagara. He's like, hatibude, my room is just here. I just want to take a shower. You can just sit and wait for me in room in Shigeza. I was like, I'm not going anyway. It was now 8 o'clock. I'm not going anyway. And he's like, une naro, no problem yako. And he was now starting to get angry. I was like, yo, une naro, no problem yako. I thought we had a good day. I mean, we had lunch together. I mean, I drove you from your home to your workplace. I was like, I didn't ask you to do that. Take me home right now, or else I'm going to that garden. I'm going to scream. And then he was like, okay, fine. Okay. So we parked there for like 5 minutes, not saying anything. It felt like a toxic relationship in the space of 12 hours. So I sit there and I'm just praying, Kutumari, please protect me. Please. I didn't ask for this. This man doesn't even have my phone number. Like, how did I get here? And then later on, he's like, okay. He starts the car and then he drives out of Bront like really fast. And then, kanochiva pa Bront, antithetri kuna fourth. Kumba kwandagara, you need to turn to your yak. You need to leave my one way SI over 110 left. Right, I mean. He goes and then he turns left. Guess where we went? Woods. Guys, ku Chinese mall. That mall. What's it called? At this point, it's dark. It's pitch black in Harare. It's late. It's a weekday, so hakuna vanhu wanda ma streets. But then you know Harare, it's always packed with traffic. So we drive there, and like I was now plotting with how do I get out of this sticky situation. And then he says, you know what, I'm so sorry. I didn't know I was I mistook you for one of those girls. Chi, but let me just go by Chinese mall. Kune club Woodsy. We actually went there, tikasvika, and then he saw his friend. I don't know, vakabva exchange a cash. I think maybe he thought if I saw the money I would change my mind or something. So I don't know. But then as we are driving out of that place now, because when we got there I stayed in the car, I was quiet, and then he drove me. He came back, he got into the car, and then we started driving back to humanity. So he comes back, he sits in the car. So he gets there, and then we're driving out of Horizon Ivato. That's the place. Horizon Ivato. And then we're driving out of Horizon Ivato. We're going back to, civilization. That's when he stretches his hand towards me. I was like, yeah. And then he starts touching my hair. He's like, I really like you. I was like, Jesus. I really like you. I'm really sad that we couldn't get to an understanding. I was like, there's no understanding. I was being mean. Dine naro. So I'm sure naro zangu dzaiwedzera hasha dzavo baba.
And then he's like, you know what? Actually, but I'm actually doing you a favor, I'm driving us back to Bront. I'm driving us back to Bront.
I was like, you are not driving us back to Bront because I'm not going to get out of the car. Unless if you pick me up and you hold me, that's the only way I'm getting out of this car.
And he's like, okay, fine, Saka, we'll just do it in here.
I was like, he's like, I'll park on the side of the road and we'll do it ipap. I was like,
actually, no!
That's not going to happen because I'm going to fight you. And he's like, Do you think like we had an exchange, guys, like an angry exchange? Yo. So he would alternate between angry exchange and like calm exchange. Angry exchange, calm exchange. I was losing my flipping mind sitting in that car waiting for us to just get to the location when they got, because I knew I'm gonna die basically. It was not safe. Oksala, there was nothing I could do. My friend was just on the phone praying with me like, babe, I hope you're okay. This man is doing an angry exchange and calm exchange, angry, forcing
Me like, let's have sex right now.
and then
I say no. And then
he says,
Come on, man. You know I like you. Mangwana ndo kuone, and then I'll take you shopping, and then
he tried everything, guys. I was sitting on the chair, like on the seat of the car. But I knew if it happens, it's on me. I got myself into this car. And then we keep driving and driving and driving, and he keeps trying to stretch his hand, you know, or like grab my hand and yo. So finally we talk, and then we keep fighting and fighting until we get to my place, to the road Yakumba Kwangu, and I'm like, drop me off Panapa. And he said, I don't want to drop you off Panapa, I'm a Neru, let me just drop you by gate. So because I was afraid, I was just like, okay, but you're not too close to the gate, just drop me by Druze. So he dropped me off there. I never saw that man again. I never saw that, and I was like afraid because I didn't know where he stays, like around the area. Like, excuse me, what if he lives close to my house? What if he actually sees me every day? But luckily, I got out of that car. I said, I'll see you tomorrow. Tried anything. He never came back to my office. Nothing like that. But yo, I was scared. Like one of the worst days of my life, legitimately. And I've heard a number of those. But I think I'm going to have a series of my experience with men, basically, because there are some men out there who are just perverted and weird and wicked and Anyway, that's the story, guys. I didn't get raped. I didn't get killed. I did not. I had good food though on the day. I can assure you that. But he didn't win. So bless the Lord. Thank you so much for watching this video. It's been very long. I hope that you watched till the end. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Mwah. Stay blessed.